out with USA men's basketball competing in the exhibition games before they're getting ready for the Olympics that are coming up. I guess at the end of this month is when the Olympics officially get started. And so it's coming up quick, but we've had 2 exhibition games thus far with Team USA men's basketball. The women will be playing an all-star game against the WNBA All-Stars. We'll get to that in about a week or so. But anyways, as far as the men's go, they competed thus far against Canada and Australia. They played against Canada on July 10th, and they won 86-72 in Las Vegas. Then today, they played in Abu Dhabi, and they beat Team Australia 98-92. Team USA still has 3 more exhibition games before the Olympics officially start. They'll play Serbia on Wednesday. They have South Sudan in London on July 20th, and then they're also going to play Germany in London on July 22nd. So, Gary, I'm going to kick things off with you because this seems like it's going to be the last Olympics for your GOAT, LeBron James. And so just how are we feeling overall about this Olympic team?
Overall, I mean, so far they've been handling business. You know, usually past USA basketball teams with this much caliber of talent usually demolish the floor, to be honest with you guys. Usually it's like win by 20 or 40. Obviously, the last 2 games kind of been close towards the end, I guess. The first one wasn't really close at all. It just let the score look close, but they were pretty much dominant the whole way through. This one, they had a little spark at the end, but I think Vaughn mentioned that I didn't watch the game, but me just watching the highlights and looking at the box score just real quick. You know, Tyrese Halliburton hitting 2 threes to go up and seal the deal is really cool to see. This game, they switched up the lineup, obviously, adding Edwards and Jason Tatum to the starting lineup this time. And you see who's been averaging pretty much the most minutes, really, has been Edwards. You know, everyone joking around with him saying the number 1 option. I think that was like tongue-in-cheek, him messing around. But as we're seeing, he's the youngest buck who's the most fiery and probably has, quote-unquote, the most approval on his team, maybe, if you could think about it. And so I love how you see he's grabbing the bull by his horn. He's really just taking advantage of the opportunity. And, you know, the old guys already established and have gold medals, most of them under their belt. So them just basically giving him the reins to, you know, take over in moments and make the shots that are just comfortable with him. Everyone's, you could tell, like, these box scores ain't used to regular box scores from these type of players. I know that I think the minutes per quarter, I'm pretty sure, are down because, you know, it's a pretty low scoring game, but they're sharing the rock, man. You can tell from everyone's having about 6 to 8 shots, the starter wise. And so, you know, they didn't play Derek White. Obviously, KD's out right now and stuff like that. And Shaun mentioned these are just the prelim games, and they're going to be heading to Paris here soon to probably play a few more prelim games and then get the real battle started here. But like LeBron said today, is gold or nothing, and that's pretty much why I think they're going to win. They're going to pretty much win gold, I feel like. But you can bet your bank on it. That should be on Bond's little hotline for the rest of the year. Whatever he sees with the USA, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if they covered today, Vaughn. Did they cover? I don't know what the line was. They probably didn't.
No, they didn't cover today.
Was this really 1.5?
That was way too. That was way too.
It was 20.
I think it was 1.5.
Yeah, hopefully they start getting it more right because they probably are going to be some little bit close again. But then again, you got these teams, obviously, we always mentioned, played before previously. They're more, I guess, continuity built. And, you know, this is their second game, this whole team ever playing together ever. But you got so much talent and so many good players on this team. It's hard not to just see it work, man. Just you go through the names, just all-star after potential Hall of Famer after potential Hall of Famer. So I think the USA men's basketball team is going to be just right. It's going to be easy breezy, really. Even though we're going to play a couple tough players here like Joker and maybe Giannis, I think is still in the tournament, right? And so we got some other guys and other teams with Germany with Shooter. I know I'm saying Shooter, but hey, they won last year. So in Canada, like we just played, got some dogs with SGA and Jamal Murray on that team. So there's a lot of good guys, and the French too. We got Wembanyama, and you also got obviously Rudy Gobert. So there's going to be some talented guys we play across with a few NBA guys. But no one can say they got all 12 pretty much NBA guys, and no one can say they got pretty much all Hall of Famers on their team. So I think they're going to win. Maybe not as dominant as back then just because it's pretty hard to probably dominate them, any team, like all in all. But then again, because these are professionals they're playing, but I think USA men's basketball It's gonna be just right, and ain't no sweat on my side. I think we're gonna win easy breezy, and yeah, I need to get me a jersey, a USA jersey. To be honest with you, I went to the Nike store, Brad, this week in SF. They ain't got the USA basketball stuff out yet. I'm like, y'all slacking,
The
man.
website sold out in like 20 minutes. I
Oh,
tried.
the website had it. Yeesh. Hopefully I need to get some stuff in the store, kid, because that USA gear is dope. So I need to get that.
I have one USA basketball jersey, and it's a DeMarcus Cousins USA basketball jersey.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I got a Dream Team Mike one.
Ooh,
That's even better.
Got a Penny
Much
Hardaway.
better. Oh, okay. Gary, are
Coming out
you
with
the
the
only
heat.
one without Gary? Are you the only one without a USA basketball jersey? You're not patriotic.
no, I don't have a jersey. No, that's
you're
that's
slacking.
clean though. Ooh, that is clean. Can you wear that or no? I wouldn't even wear
Hell
that.
nah.
No, so I don't even wear. I wouldn't
in
even
the
wear
closet.
that. Exactly. That's crazy. I got so many jerseys I don't even touch. I'm so down.
For our audio only listeners, as Kevin shows off his amazing Michael Jordan USA jersey.
You know what USA thing I
wanted-
do got, Shaun? You can guess. I got a USA basketball shirt though. Guess who?
Yeah.
Oh, say him.
Yeah.
Not Toddy.
Only
Only Carolina blue in my house.
I mean, a
Toddy.
LeBron
Dang,
USA
I didn't know.
basketball
Kid was a Jordan fan.
I'm not. It's
Jersey
a classic.
guy.
You had to get it. It's a classic.
Jersey guy.
Yeah, Shaun,
The
answer your question. I got
LeBronologist
bronze.
is getting exposed.
I got
It's a
bronze.
classic.
I got a bronze shirt. It's faded. Totally faded. Things all gone. I'm still keeping it though.
Kevin's like, damn it, can I just appreciate greatness from both eras? As I just want to get to a couple of YouTube comments here. As Dad Dent says, Team USA is number one on every country's list, of course, as they should be. And I mean, we're not too hyped talking about Team USA right now because like they handled business. They might not have handled business when it comes to the spread as far as Jaevon is concerned, but they are winning the games, and that's the biggest thing because as we've seen in the past, whether it be the World Games or in the FIBA games or the actual Olympics, like if Team USA loses an exhibition game like they did to Nigeria a couple of years ago, it's a massive deal. But when they win, it's kind of just like, yeah, they're taking care of business as expected. And Uncle Manny says, have an amazing show. We appreciate you, Uncle Manny. Kevin, did you want to jump in the
Did
conversation?
we talk about the Nigeria game when Ike was on? Because Ike was on that team.
I think we did.
Almost like he was on that team.
We must have had to.
I don't think
Otherwise,
it was on
we
the
all.
show yet, but we probably talked about it.
If we did, I feel like
I
we
don't
did.
remember
That
if we
was
did.
like a year and a half ago, but like I feel like we did. If not, it was a big swing and miss from
Time
all
to
of
bring
us.
back
But
Ike.
I'm just gonna have faith that we did. But anyways, Jaevon, now getting to you next. Just how do you feel about this Team USA? Because we've talked about the members of it before with Stephen Curry, Devin Booker, Anthony Edwards, Drew Holiday, Tyrese Halliburton, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Jason Tatum, and Joel Embiid, Anthony Davis, and Bam Adebayo. The one change has been the fact that Kawhi Leonard had to withdraw on July 10th. He got replaced by Derek White of the Boston Celtics instead of the finals MVP of the Boston Celtics, Jaylen Brown. The coaches on the staff are Steve Kerr with assistants Eric Spoelstra, Tyronn Lue, Mark Few from Gonzaga. So, Toddy, it's obviously stacked, but for you as a Celtics fan, how did you feel when Derek White was the replacement for Kawhi rather than JB, the finals MVP? And, sorry, didn't mean to leave you hanging there, but also Eastern Conference Finals MVP. I feel like that's also important.
Hey, man, he don't ever win shit, remember? His words from his mouth to God.
First off, yes, Jaylen Brown, Finals MVP, champion Jaylen Brown, champion Derek White, and champion Jason Tatum. I thought it was a little weird, kind of looking at it. Just based off the way that Jaylen Brown played the entire playoffs, I was a little confused on when Kawhi dropped out. I was never really convinced that Kawhi was going to play, even though they announced that he was going to play. And then all of a sudden it's like, I'm out. And I'm like, okay, well, there's Kyrie. I was like, I'm just thinking about guys listening. I was like, there's Kyrie, there's Derek White. I'm like, there's Jaylen Brown. And I was like, well, Jaylen Brown should probably get it because he just won Finals MVP, just won the championship. Averaged over 20 points in the finals. Like it would make sense, right? But I get it, but I don't get it at the same time because I'm looking at the line. I'm just looking at the team already. You got Kevin Durant, you got Devin Booker, you got LeBron James, Steph Curry. I'm just looking at it from the standpoint as they need another guy that's just going to just defend, block shots. So I kind of see it from that point, but I'm like, Jaylen Brown can do that too. Like
that's exactly what I was thinking.
Jaylen Brown guarded Luka Doncic pretty much the entire finals. He's you could hear him mic'd up saying, "Hey, whenever Luka comes out, take me out," and we're up like double-digit points in the fourth quarter in Game 5. So it's not like Jaylen Brown can't do the job. I'm just a little puzzled on why it wasn't him. Obviously, he was. We know with the eyeball emojis or the whatever emoji you want to call that. The curious emojis is what we'll probably lean towards. But yeah, it was. I think it left a couple of people pretty shocked. Kevin was the guy who absolutely pointed it out to me. He's always sending me stuff pertaining to the Niners or the Celtics or Jaylen Brown or Brandon Ayuk simultaneously throughout the day. So, yeah, I was a little, shocked. I would understand his frustration on why he wasn't selected for Team USA. I'm trying to think, was Jaylen Brown ever on? No, I don't think he was on like a Team USA team exhibition-wise. No, that was obviously Jason Tatum.
Was he ever on the youth teams? I don't know.
Or something like that. But yeah, like Kevin said, he doesn't win anything. When he wins Finals MVP, Jason Tatum's getting all the press. As Kevin's probably
2K cover, he gets to go on the dream team.
But as far as the men's basketball team, I think Steve Kerr's just playing with lineups. Like you could start, like you could put how lineups together with this team and be like, all right, yeah, go ahead. Like today, and Jason Tatum started. I believe
those are only 2 positions they're moving now. 3 of them are locked in, Vaughn.
Yeah, so I believe the first game was Steph, LeBron,
Embiid.
Holiday started, Embiid, and Devin Booker. So you're kind of looking at it from like how, and even the coaching lineup is Tyronn Lue, Mark Few, as Shaun already mentioned, and you got freaking Eric Spoelstra. Like these are Hall of Fame coaches on the staff. Like it's literally down from the coaches, from the players to the staff, and probably the equipment managers and all the way, so on and so forth. They're probably just getting the best of the best type of guys. So I get today that they did not cover the spread, as I was contemplating on gambling my college football money on this game. But the first game,
but you did it. But you didn't, right? You did it.
I did not.
Okay.
I did
not. Okay.
Thank God. But the first game, it kind of took them a little bit for them to get their bearings underneath them. There's so many turnovers in that game. Very lackluster, I'd say, in the game against Canada. Kind of took them a little bit for them to find their stride. I feel like Anthony Edwards off the bench was a big spark for them off of the bench, which may or may not have been the reason why he was thrust in the starting lineup today. I believe I said on last week's podcast that Anthony Edwards should probably start, and Kevin thought it was the craziest thing in the world. And he was starting today. So there's just so many lineups that you could put this team together. Like you could have Steph, like you could have the lineup that you had today. You could have Anthony Davis in the lineup. And guys, let's all kind of get back. Kevin Durant hasn't even played yet. And it's like you add Kevin Durant to this team, it's going to be like, okay, like how are we not losing by 30 points? That's kind of what it's going to come down to. And when you start to look at these games that USA is favored in, or like their first game, I think it's I don't know who it is that they play first. Sudan, I think it is. Sudan, they play first. Favored by like 27.5 points. So they're kind of thinking of it as, Kevin or Shaun has the alarm go off. Says, you're talking too much. But I just think it's going to be hard to like come close with one of these teams. I feel like the only team that would have maybe given them problems was Canada, and they blew Canada out. So
yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. And before we get Kevin's thoughts on this, I just wanted to also do a small preview, even though we have time before the Olympics officially start, as far as the group stage round for men's basketball starts on July 27th. And I honestly think that Team USA got a pretty good draw, because if you look at Group A, It has Australia, the team that Team USA just beat today by 6 points, less than double digits. Australia plays Spain in the opening game. As we know, Team USA has had trouble with Spain in the past, even if the Gasol brothers are now retired. Then you got Greece, obviously, Team Giannis, versus Canada with Jamal Murray and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Also, Garry, shame on you. You forgot to mention the most important Canadian, Trey Lyles. No, Trey Lyles of the Sacramento Kings. But that's Group A, where you have like a bunch of heavy hitters. Then you got Germany in Group B versus Japan. I mean, yeah, Germany's led by Dennis Schroeder. Japan, they have Rui Hachimura, I guess. And then you look at France, obviously, Wemby, Gobert, Koulibaly. And then they also play.
Shai on that team?
I believe so. I'm not sure.
No,
I'm not sure.
No.
So don't.
None of the young guys are in it. The young guys that are in the draft now, they all prioritize basketball. But Risha Shea was the only one that was invited.
Okay, well, at least he was invited. And thank you, Kevin, for noting that. Summer League over the Olympics.
The Hawks said, "Nah, bro, you got to come."
Yeah, exactly. It's condition of being drafted number one.
Question, you guys: do you think they get paid for the Olympics?
No.
No.
Players?
Yeah.
No.
I was asking that question. I was like, I mean, shit, really? Even like
all for your country. That's why Kawhi pulled his ass out.
They got to do something though. Like you getting LeBron James to spend.
I mean, you probably get some endorsement deals or something like that.
I think there's some probably endorsement deal like on the back end, but not like USA Basketball is not paying the players.
Yeah, USA Basketball
is
crazy
to think. Yeah, because I never thought of it like that.
That's what I took Kawhi out. Like, hold on, we the one paying you, bro.
Kawhi said, "How much? I'm not getting paid." All right, yeah, go ahead, y'all. Come on.
I would imagine
it's public knowledge.
I would imagine that it's basically they pay for your travel everywhere, hotels, food, maybe give you some merch, Team USA merch, like to wear warm-up gear to and from the games, all that, wear sweats. But other than that, you're doing your service for your country. Thank you. But finally, just to look at Group C, which starts on July 28th, so Team USA actually starts on day 2, is you got South Sudan. I can't tell you. There's probably an NBA player on that team, but I can't tell you off the top of my head. Versus Puerto Rico, which is the Fighting Jose Alvarados. And then you got Serbia versus Team USA. Obviously, Serbia has Nikola Jokic, Bogdan Bogdanovic. So that's a challenging first game for Team USA. But I would much rather have Team USA start in a group like Group C, where you really only have to worry about Serbia compared to if you were in Group A, you have to worry about Australia, Greece, Canada, everyone. And so, Kevin, I really like the grouping that Team USA has gotten. But before we get to the Olympics, obviously, what have you thought of their first 2 games?
One thing I think Garry might have mentioned in his opening monologue, the Tyrese Halliburton show. Me and Toddy were talking about, like, who doesn't play on this team? And the first name everyone throws out is Tyrese Halliburton. And like Toddy mentioned,
casuals.
Coach Kerr is just – I mean, not casual. You got to look at the other guards on the list. Like, he's –
casuals.
Is he better than Drew?
Well-rounded, yes.
Is he better than Steph?
No.
Is he better than Anthony Edwards?
I don't think it's about them being better. I feel like it's fit.
Okay, so just to play that game, Kevin, real quickly, honestly, and maybe this is my bias pouring out from Tyrese being a Kings draft pick, but I'm only taking Steph and Anthony Edwards before I'm taking Tyrese Halliburton. I'm even taking him ahead of Devin Booker. And maybe that's just me, but yeah, Toddy, I'm taking him over Devin Booker.
This is a clip right here.
Clip it. Hey, man. Devin Booker or Tyrese Halliburton, who would you rather want to run your team? I'm taking Tyrese Halliburton.
Pre-All-Star break?
Pre-All-Star
break, I'm right there with you, brother. That's 25-11. I'm right there.
Okay, but he got hurt. He got hurt. So are you asking me, would I rather have an injured Tyrese Halliburton or Devin Booker? Like, yeah. But Devin Booker battled through injuries throughout this season too, though. So like,
the worst player on this team is who? Derek White.
Well, yeah, but okay, let's not name the guy who just got added. Like, if we have to look at everyone except for the guy who just
he's not even the worst player. It's just obviously, but he would know too. His resume is nowhere built to no one else is here. Everyone else is a superstar.
if we're really talking worst player other than the guy that just got added, and this is obviously the best
What do you mean
players
he's
in the
part of the
world
team
all
now?
on one team. Well, yeah, but Derek White just
Okay,
got
you don't
added.
want to count him. Okay, sure.
Yeah, I'm just saying if we're
We'll
talking
just
about
give him a break.
yes, okay, we'll give him a break. But okay, yeah, the OG roster, right? I would say that the worst player, and obviously this is an embarrassment of riches, but it's probably either Drew Holiday or Bam Adebayo. And I mean, am I wrong?
I'd say Bam. If we're not saying Tyrese, I'd say Bam. Bam's definitely the second worst player.
And these
So,
are all
wait.
caliber players.
Hold on, but
Well,
Kevin,
I mean, they're all-stars on their team. They don't play on a team like this for 82 games. They play on a team like this for 82 games. We'd be like, Bam, who? Six
But
man of the
Kevin,
war, Bam?
I did notice you said besides Tyrese. So does that mean that obviously besides Derek White, you think that Tyrese Halliburton is
Well,
the worst
now that
player?
because I mentioned, I know Gary had mentioned we're sticking with the original team. If we're doing
Yes.
today's team, Derek White is the worst player on the
Well,
team.
yeah,
Yes.
but other than Derek White, you say Tyrese Halliburton?
Nah, I had to go to Drew Holiday.
For me,
I
it's
thought
Drew
Drew
Holiday
Holiday
or
is
Bam
great.
I
Adebayo.
thought Garry was
I go Bam, but I'm not saying Bam's
So
bad
who?
at basketball. But when you compare
Anthony
Bam
Davis.
to the other dudes he shares the front
Nah.
court with, it's like that's why I wouldn't take Tyrese, because when you put him in that guard mix, because last week when Toddy asked who was going to start, they're not going by positions. They're just putting fives together. So
Monstars.
it's guards, forwards, and centers. Those are the only three groups. So when you put them all in that group, yeah, you can probably put Tyrese over Drew, but Tyrese is down there.
Do you see that when
Okay.
they asked how tall Kevin Durant was, and he was like, "I'm 6'9".
6'9". I don't know what they be talking about.
Yeah, and he's taller than
Anthony
Bam,
Davis.
taller than Anthony
Bam,
Davis.
yeah.
Exactly.
But it's funny
I don't know
because if
why
you
he
go to his
wants to be known as
NBA.com, it says
7
KD 6'10". So,
I don't know why he doesn't want to be 7 feet.
well, I mean, because pictures like this really expose those kind of things.
Because for sure, I'm about to say, they were talking about Tatum today too. I seen Tatum is easy 6'10" himself, bro. I'm not gonna lie, like he's a big body too.
There's gonna be some dumb coach who tries to put KD down at center and just be like, "You're a 7-footer. Just make it work. Just go in the post. You don't got to use power. Use finesse." But Kevin, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off getting into that Tyrese Halliburton tangent. But did you have any other thoughts you wanted to add?
Yeah, I mean, we saw down the stretch. You know, we would never think in our lifetime that there's a team with LeBron James and Steph Curry, and there's 2 minutes on the clock in an 8-point game, and they're on the bench. You would never in the world ever think we'd see that. And for them to let those young guys just go out there and rock, it's a really good thing. Australia came out and played their ass off. You know, I missed the first half, but so I caught up after one of my meetings at work, and it was a 4 or 5 point game. Like it was up to like 21-25. So I don't know what happened in between that, but Australia's no joke. You know, Patty Mills, man. Patty Mills is that typical Olympic player. In the NBA, you don't really look for him too much. You know, he's just another guy. But on his Olympic team, he's Kyrie Irving. He's getting them up. He's shooting the ball all the time. He's telling all these dudes sprint the lane. We're seeing all dudes play out of character because now they're playing in different roles. And in the Canada game, I think we got down 11-1, and then we just saw this team started clicking. What everyone needs to take with a grain of salt, a lot of these teams, besides probably Canada and the USA, have been playing with each other for years on years on years. These guys got together, 11 days before the exhibition game and said, let's roll it out and see what we can do. So, yeah, we look ugly. You can say we're rusty. You can say A, B, C, and D, but they're compared to the team that we've seen Luka play in FIBA every time he can. Just the camaraderie that they have for their country, it's a different kind of pride. So to see that kind of camaraderie that they have, and then you compare it to the USA, like you have so much talent. At some point, it's going to click. But in the very beginning of the dog days, you just got to give it time to work. They have all the greatest minds in the world. There's no way this doesn't work. So I'm with LeBron. It's gold or nothing. So this is his last Olympics. You got to go out swinging.
He certainly does. Everyone does. And as Kevin's dad mentioned earlier, it's Team USA versus the world, quite literally. And as far as these exhibition games go, July 17th being on Wednesday is what most intrigues me because Serbia is in Team USA's group. To me, they're their only challenge before they get into the quarterfinals. And so I'm really interested to see Wednesday's game. Then, I mean, we'll just wait for the Olympics because as entertaining as it may be, I probably won't be tuned in for those last 2 games in London against South Sudan and Germany. maybe the Germany game, but Team
His
USA
time might
should-
be crazy, man. Too. What time was today's game on?
9
a.m. But it's
Exactly.
gonna start being
What's the
crazy
game?
though once they get to Paris, because once they get to Paris, they're 8 hours ahead. So that's when it's the 3 in the morning pods, the 4 or 5 in the morning games, and
live pod.
a live reaction pod at 4 in the morning. Could you imagine like this?
That's what's crazy. These
And
be
we
tough
lost.
to watch. Hopefully, they have the main games during good time for us.
Yeah, Toddy, were you going to say something?
Oh, where was the game at
Spoiled
today?
USA people.
Today it was in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, Abu Dhabi is what I thought.
Yeah.
You seen You seen the Steph with that Falcon on his wrist?
Oh,
Yeah, I did. Yeah, he
That
took that
shit's
shit he took it so quick. He was like, "Sure, put this on my arm."
But imagine if the Falcon had, I think it had his eyes covered. Imagine if they had shit. It just someone just said, "Deek, take it off." I don't know what it would have done. Oh, man.
Wild, absolutely wild. Well, we will continue to cover the USA men and women's basketball teams throughout their exhibition run and the Olympics that are coming up very quickly.